Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk new movies at long dang last. Almost 4 months into the new year, and I am way behind. So let's start off on the right foot by talking about my favorite animation team on the market right now, Warner Animation Group. Leave them alone, James. They're fine. I saw a brief trailer of this one and came to the conclusion that it was basically a feature-length version of the Justice League Unlimited episode Far From Home.
This may shock you, but she's proud to be your cousin. She even changed her costume to look more like yours.
Yes, and I'm very proud.
I'll sprinkle some of that classic throughout this review. Dear Lord, do I need escapism right now. I hate March. Worst month of the year for me. To sum up the episode in question, Supergirl is thrust into the future with Green Lantern and Green Arrow to stop the Fatal Five, the bad guys from the future, and their leader is Super Hat.
We're better armed than ever to strike against the United Planets. After that, the universe will be ours for the taking.
Hell, WAG even made a feature-length film called Justice League vs. the Fatal Five in the style of the Bruce Timm Justice League series. It's not the Justice League reunion I would have wanted, and I sure would have preferred a story that wasn't already told, but for what it is, I'm happy it exists.
The Justice League, champions of Earth in the 21st century. Today, their exploits and ideology are the guiding principles of the Legion.
So I am at least a little bit in the know of what to expect out of a story like this. They obviously couldn't do the Fatal Five again, so it was time to get creative. Let's see what they did with this story. This is my honest opinion of Legion of Superheroes. Set in the Tomorrowverse. Yes, I have to clarify that now. Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, voiced by Meg Donnelly, is having trouble adjusting to life on the primitive Earth after witnessing firsthand the destruction of her more advanced home planet of Krypton, as well as her beloved mother, Allura, voiced by the legendary Jennifer Hale. In an attempt to make her feel more comfortable, Superman, reprised by Darren Criss, takes Supergirl to the 31st century to the Legion of Superheroes Academy, where her powers may be tested to her liking, despite sharing space with the descendant of Brainiac known as Brainiac 5, voiced by Harry Shum Jr. Supergirl accepts this new challenge, but then becomes involved in a plot by the evil shadow group called the Dark Circle that has cropped up across time and is making a move on the Legion of Superheroes, and only she and Brainiac 5 can stop them.
Where are we?
Earth, in the 31st century. Kara Zor-El, welcome to the Legion of Superheroes.
It's WAG, so of course I had a good time. But let's keep it real. Is it perfect? No. Hell no. In fact, it's probably one of WAG's lesser flicks. There are so many things in this movie that are so dumb, so derivative, but for what it is, I could do a whole lot worse. Now, let's call a spade a spade. This is a Hallmark Channel movie set in the DC universe with sprinkled in violence. What do I mean by that? Girl meets boy. Girl and boy can't stand each other. Girl and boy get snarky, but eventually fall in love. Come on, it's a Hallmark movie.
I'm from Krypton. We invented robotics.
And I'm from Kolu. We perfected them.
I'm right.
But this is cooler because there's action and violence. But yeah, make no mistake, it's not played with in a unique way. They're essentially in school, working on school projects together. It's about as uninteresting as it sounds. There's no good dialogue, not even a whole lot of charm, it's just blah.
Oh no! Too slow.
Frankly, the entire story is a big ol' question mark. Never mind the fact that it's one we've kind of already seen before, but packaged in a different way. But for Supergirl's debut in the Tomorrowverse, I don't really agree with the route chosen for her character. To fully explain this, let's start with a positive, and something I really appreciate. In most media, Supergirl has been misrepresented, most notoriously in the CW's Supergirl, where she's basically a gender swap of Superman. Her personality was one of hope and kindness and all the other adjectives and adverbs that describe her cousin. Even in more positively received stories of hers, such as the video game Injustice 2 and the celebrated Justice League Unlimited, Supergirl's personality was never really properly translated from the comics. In those two instances, it worked. She wasn't the main character all the time, and her personality served the function of the story of that episode or video game, but she was not a faithfully adapted character from the comics in either instance.
That was unnecessary. My belt protects me from any impact.
Maybe I was just trying to cop a feel.
So with all that said, what is Supergirl's proper personality? To my understanding, she's supposed to have a far more complex character than Superman. She doesn't really like Earth or the people that she's supposed to protect. The reason for this is because she wasn't born on Earth like Kal-El. She was a teenager born and raised on Krypton. She still remembers it, thinks like them, shaped by their culture. The loss of her home is far more impactful for her. So to uproot that for the more primitive Earth, it's a cultural shock and one that she hasn't really embraced. So basically think of Wonder Woman's personality from the Justice League cartoon.
Perhaps Mother was right about mankind. They're nothing but untamed savages.
Do not judge them too harshly. They act out of fear.
You wear this and you'll have to beat the men off with a stick.
Believe me, I don't need a stick.
This, I believe, is the first time that she was done justice. Wait, hold on. Let me rewatch Superman Batman Apocalypse.
Metropolis is much more my style. This is the life I want, Clark. I want to know everything there is to know about being an Earth girl. Where do we start?
Nope, never mind. How about Superman Unbound?
You've spent your whole life on this planet. You grew up with these powers. Do you even remember Krypton? Your parents? My parents? I have powers now. And I'm going to use them.
Oh, that's much better. The point is, I would love that version of Supergirl. I've seen the nice one, but haven't seen the darker, complex one. Well, here we are. The version of Supergirl I've been waiting to see for about 2 minutes. And then she's taken to the future via a random wiffle ball portal, and then cue lame Hallmark movie. Kind of a jip if you ask me.
In the short time she's been here, she's destroyed buildings and failed to control her powers. Worse, she doesn't care.
And the whole thing about the future being in contact with Superman for the vaguest reasons imaginable, I'm sitting here going like, that sounds wildly irresponsible. What was that thing that Green Lantern said?
You want to shut up before you create a time paradox.
At least in the Bruce Timm cartoon, it was explained that the future Legionnaires needed help from the past, and the best candidates were Supergirl, Green Lantern, and Arrow because their history suggests that they disappeared for a time, because they were brought to the future. It was a last-ditch effort before the Legionnaires were all wiped out by the Fatal Five.
We needed help, so we sent the time bubble to bring back some of Earth's greatest heroes.
But why us?
It was random. We'd have taken anyone.
We'd have never done it if the situation wasn't so dire.
Here, it's treated like summer camp. Really?
They contacted me through the time bubble after we formed the League. We've been in sporadic contact ever since.
But why?
You get some dumb character moments later on, and some bad character writing. Like, apparently Brainiac 5 is supposed to be the universe's only level 12 intellect, whatever that means in this universe. But in some scenes, he's no smarter than Supergirl. And I'm like, what? What's the point? My guess is he's just being a pretentious prick. He has the potential to be a level 12 intellect, but he's still developing because he's a teenager in this story. So that would make sense, but I'm making excuses. This is not at all explained in the actual movie.
You are objectively in the wrong.
And the sheer magnitude of conveniences and for the fans moments is ridiculous. From the aforementioned time-traveling tennis ball that Superman has.
We came here with the time bubble. It's extremely rare technology.
Well then, how did you get it, you weirdo? To Brainiac 5 being a clone of the original Brainiac, a character not at all seen in the Tomorrowverse yet, and Supergirl has strong negative feelings toward this Brainiac despite only having been on Earth for a few months.
He's Brainiac! Why are we all just sitting here?
As I attempted to tell you, I am not Brainiac.
This feels like a sequel to an installment that was never made, and it's kind of annoying.
Batman to any Justice League members. There's been an attack at Star Labs. Do you copy? No. I don't know what they were after.
Imperfect is being generous as hell, as you can probably guess. And there's plenty of problems that I didn't touch upon, but I want to keep this review moving along. But for all my criticisms, does that mean I hate the movie? Absolutely not. I think where it counts, it does a good job of keeping me entertained. And, well, that's kind of all I need in a movie like this, so that's a win for me. Let's start off kind of petty and very small. I can't tell you how happy I am to see Supergirl's iconic skirt. Not as comically short as her Bruce Timm counterpart, but not the pants that Melissa Benoist was fighting for in the CW show. And not even combining leggings with the skirt like they did early on. Letting a drawing be attractive and embrace her femininity. Femininity. You don't see enough of this in mainstream media, so I'll take it in the more low-key areas of entertainment. I also enjoy the built-up threat of the Dark Circle. Their outfits are ridiculous, but the idea of this threat extending throughout time by the centuries is pretty interesting. And by the end, there's an implication that they've never really served the same master. So, more awesome versions of minions. Actually, that doesn't make them sound cool at all, does it? The point is, I like them. That's what I like about these movies. I enjoy learning new things about the DC Universe, and the animated films have always been a fun source to learn new things.
Then they vanish. No trace to be found. Leader, unknown. Origins, unknown. End of file.
And I do enjoy the brief but meaningful beats of character growth for Supergirl. She's established herself to be a punch first and ask questions never type of chick, but does have her moments of learning to use her head to solve a problem.
It'll trigger a purge of the entire room.
Brainy, I'm not great at gently fighting things.
Just try.
As well as the climactic reveal of the leader of the Dark Circle. Without giving anything away, the design for the villain is grotesque and disturbing. And I can't tell you how much I freaking loved it.
The circle remains unbroken.
Let's burn through the rest of the positives and wrap up the review. First of all, you can never go wrong by casting Jennifer Hale in your project. It's a bit role as Allura, Supergirl's mother, but Hale never makes a project worse.
Every day, I am in awe of the strong, kind, wonderful person you've become.
Wait, what? Kevin Ripple did the music for this movie? Ripple, as in OG Gears of War? Oh, it looks like he's done the music for a number of DC projects. Well, the more you know.
My bright young man, she means I possess a 12th level intelligence, as measured by the scientific minds of Kolu.
And as cliche as the humor is, the voice acting does power through the material on occasion, and you get a few cutesy moments.
Sorry, got held up in Star City and didn't get the call until a second ago.
I will.
Really?
Yep.
It seemed like you weren't sure.
I am now.
We could still go back and train on the farm together.
Nope, I'm good.
Man, the more I talked about it, the less I liked it, didn't I? Truly, hard-hitting action and good animation is no substitute for good storytelling. It's not good. And the 5.4 rating on IMDb does unfortunately make sense, which again sucks because there are good elements in here. It's just bogged down by piss-poor narrative decisions, pacing that makes the Flash look like he's Slowpoke Rodriguez. It's a blender of subpar writing that really holds back the best stuff. And with what little I know about Supergirl, even I know that there were better stories to tell, and ones that you wouldn't find on TV being watched by our mothers. It's not all bad, but after the awesomeness that was Battle of the Super Sons, WAG is better than this. My honest rating for Legion of Superheroes, a week 3 out of 5.
We're never gonna make it into the Legion. Face it, we're waiting list material at best.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon.
Eat or drink, or just remember that it's later than you think. So be cool, just relax. So be cool.